Hey guys, welcome back to Blaymore, the channel where we break down weapons from movies, games, and history to see how they work in real life. And today, the most recognizable blade from pop culture. That signature click, instant reveal, the maneuvers. You've heard and seen it 100 times. It's become a legend in Counter-Strike, a cult item in GTA, and a symbol of street style in dozens of games, clips, and shows. But here's the big question. Why is the butterfly knife banned in most countries around the world? Why did a regular folding knife turn into an outlaw weapon? And is it really as dangerous as they show us? Today, the whole truth: history, mechanics, myths, and real laws. Let's go. All right, basics first. No fluff. A butterfly blade, or Balisong, is a folding weapon with two handles that rotate around the edge like wings. That swift motion brings it out in a moment, creating a striking sight. You've probably noticed it on TikTok or in a movie scene. Edge ready quick, handles secure. At heart, it's straightforward. Practical build for an easy action, nothing complicated. People often choose one for the hand practice, focusing on opens more than daily uses. Beginners tend to catch themselves during trials, which tones down the intense image from the start. But how did this helpful design end up restricted? It connects to its roots, and that's where things stay surprisingly straightforward. So, where did this design start? Right in the Philippines, everyday island living, where folks used them for tasks like cutting fruit or fixing boat parts. Nothing mysterious. It was a reliable folder that fit into work for sailors and everyday people. Called Balisong locally, it was just a handy everyday tool, compact and ready, without any fuss. As time went on, it connected with local ways of handling threats, adding motions for better control. Sailors took them on long trips, sharing the idea in the West as something fresh and useful. But the shift happened when films took notice, changing it from a simple aid to a bolder presence. That leads us to how on-screen moments reshaped its story from everyday help to something more loaded. When films got involved, the view changed fast. Creators liked the motion for building quick tension on screen. Bad guys and street figures began showing them in thrillers and series. Take West Side Story, groups using them in the big showdown, shifting a basic tool into a sign of conflict. One motion, and it builds the mood. Miami Vice had pursuits with them under bright lights. GTA 5 features them in city back alley moves for fast results. CS2's 20on25 update brought a detailed open-in clips that got fans talking online. But keep in mind, many screen moments use stand-ins. Experts do the real work, while actors follow along. The overall sense lasted. People wanted that bold feel, turning a plain edge into a common city sight. Officials saw the same scenes, leading to concern. And what drove the restrictions? Some striking examples coming up. Real story, 80s school panic, detailed. Think back to the 80s. Schools in places like California went on alert over teens trying motions in hallways. One district stopped them, not because of fights, but the health office was overwhelmed with raps for mishaps from unsteady tries. Local reports called it a youth tool alert, even though the main problems were from users' own mistakes, showing how fear turned innocent practice into a big deal. Restrictions came from a few factors that built up. First, the motion's quick nature. It appears ready in no time, though getting it right avoids personal errors. Leaders viewed it as accessible for misuse, missing how often users face their own issues. Second, news buildup. Reports from the 80s highlighted street users as rising concerns, creating worry. Some details were stretched. Common tools caused similar outcomes, but the reports spread easily. Third, the sense of risk. The way it's handled gives off a tough area signal, raising alarms. They placed it with other fast-action items, marking them as style-based worries. Limits spread quickly, not for extreme harm, but for the attention it drew. This brings us to current rules, and a key event that locked them in. Real story, 1990s media-blown gang case detailed. Consider 1990s Los Angeles. A raid on Bloods and Crips groups uncovered these items in a storage spot. Reports painted it as a crew risk group, claiming motions led to a wave of issues. In fact, most stories involved group rivalries without major harm, but the coverage urged areas to tighten controls, turning that single event into wider measures. Today, the rules differ by place, strict in some, milder in others. The UK has a clear no policy, having one brings complications. Canada follows a similar firm approach. In the US, many areas treat them like other quick-open tools, not allowed in places like California or New York, leading to issues. At the source in the Philippines, it's treated as normal use, without worry. Mature users have some flexibility in certain spots if kept private, but the tough image keeps controls firm. Reasonable step or too much? The final thoughts are next. The key point, not particularly. These don't outdo typical folders in risk. The perception carries a lot. In practice, learning sessions lead to more user mishaps than intended targets. Self-risk stands out. During tension, it's useful for a direct move, but any solid edge works without the extra steps. The concern? Driven by on-screen views. Policies targeted the appearance, not the function. In short, engaging for practice if permitted and careful, but the worry feels amplified. Focus on practical choices instead. So, the butterfly knife is a prime example of how a regular tool can turn into a myth. Movies, games, and rumors gave it that aura of danger, even though in reality, everything's much simpler. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you like breaking down weapons, from historical to modern, support the channel. Drop in the comments what weapon you want to see next. Katana, brass knuckles, machete, shuriken, or firearms. Whatever you've been curious about. See you in the next video.